Welcome back, everybody, to DGOT, the Instant Reactions. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Me and Dustin are back. We sneak peeked this one last week, and we're a little bit late because I didn't have a good theater experience on my first watch. So I tried it again yesterday. What was yesterday? Sunday, April 13th. We're talking about 2025's or 2023. On IMDb, it says 2023, but I guess it took Finn a couple years to get this joint out. But 2025's Hell of a Summer. Basically, just a throwback, like campsite slasher. It was fun. Like it's not the best movie I've ever seen. It's not the best slasher I've ever seen, but it had some nostalgia. It was fun. Like I had a good time with it. Dustin, what about you? General thoughts?
I liked it a lot. You said that you had to try it again. You didn't make it very long in your first showing before you had to leave because of the raucous crowd. But I saw it twice because I liked it. I saw it once on the 4th, and then talking to you about doing this instant reaction, I was like, you know what? Let me just go see it again. That way, it's fresh on my mind, and I enjoyed it a lot both times. I saw it today, April the 14th, for the second time. First time, there was a healthy sized crowd in the theater with me. But this time I had the theater to myself for a noon Monday showing, so it was great. But you said it well. It's a good throwback to summertime slashers. I thought the comedy was good. We'll get into the pros and everything, but I thought, it's not the best movie I've ever seen. It's not. I texted you my top 5 movies I've seen this year in the theater, which there's 44 of them now. But
Whew.
this isn't top 5, but it's definitely top 10. It's just fun.
Yeah. Let's jump into our pros. For me, for sure, the star of the show for me was Jason Hochberg, the star of the show. Jason, I read his name backwards. Is that his real name? Is actually Fred Hetchinger, I guess is how you say it. He was Jason. He's like the lead camp counselor. He's perfect. Like I didn't even recognize him either because, like me and you were talking about before the show started, he was the other like emperor or whatever in Gladiator 2, the little prick, and hated his ass. But this guy was great as the like loser, too old to be doing this shit camp counselor. Like his mom was roasting him for even doing it too, making $100. What, $100 a week? Like you can't do nothing with $100 a week in 2025. Like best of luck to you.
They bumped him up to 115.
That's right. He did get a little pay bump. Nice little pay bump. But man, he was so good. And like I told you, it's not even just like the acting. It was just like he was that character. Like he was so clumsy, like walking around and like the way he took his steps, the way he did like that, like trying to teach Claire. I think her name was Claire. Like teaching her how to shoot the arrow respectfully and how to open the door the right way and bringing in the hot girls' luggage. Like he was just so awkward and perfect. Like he really was the star of the show for me. And I also like you mentioned, Billy Burke as Bobby, like to try hard to do anything to fit in with the girls, like pull a girl. He was really good as well. And another standout character who I thought was funny, like who was funny as well, was Matthew Findlin as Ezra, the gay yoga instructor or theater kid. Yes, theater. He was doing yoga and all that stuff too in the theater, but I thought he was a standout as well. He was funny. Like he made me chuckle a little bit. Just the mood, the atmosphere of being, at a summer camp. It's always going to hit for me because I just love those old movies. Like even Sleepaway Camp. I know you don't like that, but I love the feel of the movie, the look of it. It just, I don't know, it just brings me back to the good old slasher days. What do you think, Dustin? Give me some of your positives.
Yeah, since I had the theater to myself today, I took a little bit of notes watching it this time. And, we are going to get into some spoiler territory here. The movie's been out for a couple weeks, so whatever. Go see it, though. I thought just right off the bat, I love the open. A campfire scene to set the tone. It was great. And it was funny. It had some good humor with her. She kept hitting him with the bug zapper. And then, they don't waste any time getting to the action. We get our first couple kills. I thought that was good. Good for pacing. Jason, you said it, hilarious. Perfect casting. And his dynamic with his mom and the other counselors is great. I love how his mom said that she rolled the window up because she was cold, but then just immediately cranked the AC full blast. Like that's just a subtlety that just shows she's fed up and wants her son to grow up. I like the dynamic between Claire and Jason. It's very awkward, and he's so oblivious to the fact that she's into him. And Billy Brick, you said Bobby was also hilarious. I think him and Jason were definitely the funniest characters to me. I love how he tried so hard to get the girls to like him, even going as far as to eating a tofu burger to impress the
Blech.
astrology chick, and then he threw it into the woods. Like that was funny. That was hilarious. I like the way certain scenes were shot. One that stood out was the cuts back and forth from Jason swinging his axe, chopping the wood, to the blood splattering in Demi's cabin. I think that
Mhm.
little touches like that are fantastic. And I love the swipe scene transitions. Like that's such a throwback to old movies. It didn't happen every time, but there were times where the screen, like the scene would just kind of swipe out and a new scene would emerge. I think that's perfect for a camp slasher because it provides that throwback feel that we don't see anymore. There's the whole Ouija board scene and Ezra getting sprayed with bear spray, icing on the cake to that. Hilarious. I thought that whole scene was hilarious. And then I just overall the action, the tension, and the pacing of the third act in particular was just great to me. Bobby and Mike's fight, especially because it had action and it was a tense scene. But I also laughed the entire time because Bobby was just like he kept saying these things that were hilarious. It's like it's taken away from how serious and how terrifying this would actually be to encounter. But that's kind of how I think a lot of people would act, like try to use humor to get through it, especially with the whole erection thing like that. I laughed the entire third act, I think.
Yeah, I like the fact that the movie didn't take itself too seriously either. Like you mentioned,
Yeah.
it knew what it was. Like it was just going to be a lighthearted, fun throwback slasher. And you brought up like shots and scenes that you really thought were impressive. I like the camera work, like towards the beginning when the all the camp counselors and all that, they go to the lake, like how they filmed Finn diving into the water, then going under the water. Something that was very minor that I appreciated was like when the camera is going to like that girl's feet. I can't remember what her name was, but like it showed like like not the algae, but like the particles in the water. Like they could have very easily like made it look crystal clear, but to me it felt like authentic, like they were in a
Yeah.
lake. Like
Yeah.
I appreciated the little small touches like that. It didn't make it look like it was a pool clear, like clear water, like in Steamboat or Streamboat or
Oh, God.
Screamboat. Like the
Yeah.
water was perfectly clear in the Hudson River in some
That's
spots,
a
and
freaking Hudson. Yeah.
yeah, like nah. I just appreciated the small parts, like just having like the algae and the particles in the water. Like I thought that was just a nice touch. Now, a criticism for like right off rip is I really wish they would have showed the kills more, but it
Yeah.
was PG-13, so they didn't. But Ezra's kill, the axe to the head, looked damn good. It
It's rated
actually
R.
is it rated R? Oh my bad.
Yeah.
From what I think it was PG-13. But well, if it was rated R, they definitely should have showed more of the kills. Maybe just a budget thing. But anyway, Ezra, I thought his kill with the axe was fantastic. It looked amazing.
Yeah.
And who was the chick in the car? Was it Maggie? No, that's not Maggie. She was the mom. Whoever was in the car who got stabbed in the back of the head.
Oh, it's
That looked
Kathy.
Kathy. Yes, her head stab looked great too.
Yeah. I agree. You want to go ahead and kick us off with cons, or?
You can kick us off with cons if you want to.
All right. So I'm glad then that I get to go right after that because Kathy being stabbed through the back of the head was good effects and it was a kind of a shock to see in the first scene. However, I don't like that we didn't hear anything. Like the knife made a sound when it was pulling out of her head and out of the headrest, but not going in.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just bothered me a little. I can definitely forgive it, but it did bother me. There's the line. There's one line in particular that stands out that I'm like, come on. It's the whole no Game of Thrones spoilers. Like, come on. Game of Thrones ended in 2019. Definitely should have picked a more current show to reference, even if this script was written back when the show was still going on or right after it ended, maybe. Just update the line. It's not hard. Pick a current show, substitute it. I don't know why, but it really bothered me because I was like, dude, if you're worried about Game of Thrones spoilers 6 years after it went off air, that's on you.
Yeah.
Um,
They could have cut that for sure. Like even in my rowdy crowd, sorry to cut you off, but
oh, you're
like
good.
they were like that show's been over for a long time, and like I haven't even watched it yet, but you're right, they should have picked a more modern show or just cut the line in general.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it did add to how goofy he was because it's like, come on, that's what you're worried about. But and maybe that also just shows how out of touch he is. He thinks that Game of Thrones is still popular. I don't know. I didn't like it. this just bothered me from a dude standpoint. I hate the fact that Bobby left that car all soapy. Like, that is terrible for the paint job. What are you doing, my guy? And then the next time we see the car, it looks clean. We never see it get rinsed off. It's like, no. That's just a silly nitpick. And then I'm not sure, this is an actual complaint. I'm not sure how Mike helped stage Demi's murder when he was at the campfire. Like, that's a huge plot hole to me. And also, I'm not sure how or why Demi would have killed Miley and then jumped back into the bed, still covered in the fake blood. Like, if she puts clothing on top or a mask on top of that fake blood, it's going to look smeared. But yet when we see her, it just looks like she's been stabbed and she's bled out like that. So I don't like that. Doesn't work for me. I'm not a huge fan of the whole everyone thinks that Jason's the killer thing. Like, it led to some great comedy, but as far as working for the story, it didn't do anything for me because, like, we know 100% of the time that it's not Jason. So the only thing it's there for is to provide some laughs, which it did. It's just, I don't know. I wish that maybe they thought it was someone else, the clairvoyant girl or something. I don't know, but didn't really work. And then the reveal that there's two killers. Sorry, it kind of spoiled the big twist for me. And then, we see Demi and Mike making out, and that completely, like, you immediately know, oh, okay, it's them because she's supposed to be dead and he's missing. But it didn't ruin the movie for me at all. Like, it was still very entertaining. It just took the mystery away. I wish they'd have held on to that a little bit longer. And then the last negative that I have is you talked about Ezra's kill, and I think the effects on Ezra's kill were great and bad at the same time. Because everything looked incredible. The axe to the noggin looked great. The blood, the wound, everything looked great. But the swelling of his eyes just suddenly disappeared. Do you notice that? Like,
No, I didn't notice that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Dude's eyes were basically swollen shut from that bear spray. And literally right before that, he's talking into the camera and he takes his glasses off, and we get a great look at how swollen his face is and how jacked up he is. But then he gets an axe to the head, and it's like that cured his allergies, or it cured the flare up from the bear spray. Like, his eyes look perfectly normal. So I think that was just an oversight when they were making the cast of his head. They didn't take into effect, oh yeah, before this he got sprayed, so his eyes need to be puffy and red. But that's just a minor thing. Overall, none of these cons took away from the movie for me, really, except for the one about Demi getting back into bed and the blood looks like she'd been laying there the whole time.
Yeah, my cons, I mean, it's not like I hated the movie by any means, but I don't know, the reveal of the killers just didn't do much for me because I was genuinely curious, like, who's the killers? Yeah. But then when I thought back when they revealed it, I was like, okay, I guess technically we didn't see them die, but I don't know, it just felt kind of cheesy to me, like those were the two killers. And if we're spoiling it, dun-dun-dun-dun, I think we already have spoiled it actually, but it was Mike and Demi, like the hot couple. And they kind of want the, like, same, like Jill Roberts motive. Like, they want to be famous. It's like,
I definitely got Scream vibes off of the whole thing. There's two mass killers that we think is one killer, and then there's multiple of them, and they're doing it from, they definitely borrowed from Scream franchise. Yeah.
Now, I did think some of the stuff was funny, like some of the comedy was funny, but to me, I said this in like my little quick TikTok reviews, just like, it feels like they got to, like, have each of these different kind of characters. Like, you got to have a vegan girl. You got to have the little weird guy, the guy who was allergic to peanut butter, Ari. Like, he was just like a contrarian the whole time. You got this girl who's, like, clairvoyant, reading spirit books and all that. It's like, I don't know. To me, like, in Fear Street, like, they didn't have, like, those characters like in 78. They just had, like, normal kids at camp. And maybe because this is 2025, it's more appropriate. Like, the girl's got to have a tofu burger. It's like, just go to camp. Like, I don't know. It just stuck out, and it felt like it was trying too hard to me to just have these kind of characters in there, and just some of the just like that, like in this like dialogue, just didn't work for me. Just I don't know. It just didn't feel natural.
Okay.
What about you? Did it fit? Was it fine? I mean, I'm guessing it was fine for you.
Yeah, none of that bothered me. I took the eclectic mix of camp counselors as, summer camp is bringing a bunch of people from different walks of life together. So, you're going to have varied personalities, and there's going to be a lot of different uh, morals and ways of life represented. So that didn't bother me. And as far as the dialogue, I thought the dialogue was actually pretty good outside the Game of Thrones line. So that it didn't bother me.
The Game of Thrones line was bad.
Didn't like it.
But like Ezra, like I assumed like he was a gay character. Like he was fine. Like he felt natural. But like the other ones just felt like, all right, we need a girl who's clairvoyant, and we need a girl who's vegan, and then we got to have that character. And I don't know. It didn't feel natural.
That's fair. I mean, I
now I will say what Billy was it Billy? I'm sorry, Bobby. Now Bobby going when he's talking about he's been 2 years vegetarian, and then you didn't let me finish.
18 months vegan and prouder.
Yeah, like that was smooth. Like good for him. But then he tried the damn tofu burgers. Like shit was nasty as hell, and he tossed it. And then his line later on is like the bear tried the tofu burger and he didn't like it. That was funny.
Man, maybe it's a bear. I threw a tofu burger. Maybe he's pissed off. That was funny.
That was funny. But yeah, I mean, I didn't hate the movie by any means, but I don't know, it just didn't hit. Like some of the comedy didn't hit for me, and just the killer's reveal, like normal issues I have with Scream, really, and Finn Wolfhard. Let me talk about Finn Wolfhard. He's a good actor. I like him in Stranger Things, but he needs to be a different character every now and then. Like he's the same character as he was in Ghostbusters, pretty much, and Mike. He's trying to be Paul Rudd, but with no Riz.
Hey, Michael Cera has made a career out of being the same character every movie. I mean, it works for some people.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, no offense to Finn, because
do you see range in him? I'm not hating on him at all. I think he's good as that role. What kind of character could you see him as? Like, I think it plays into his looks and his style. It's hard for me to imagine him as any other character.
No, I feel you, but like, have you seen like the Dahmer series, Evan Peters? I think Finn Wolfhard could pull off Crazy, something like that. Like he's been in Stranger Things enough. He's been around all these other kind of characters. Like I would like to see him take on a darker role and just not the awkward, goofy kid all the time.
I mean, like I said,
maybe Hugh Grant Heretic has just spoiled me, and I want this shit more.
I mean, Michael Cera is a good comp for me because he's literally he's the same character in Year One as he is in Superbad, as he is in Sacramento, which I just watched, as he is in Dream Scenario. Like he's the same character, but it works. I don't know. I
don't really have that issue with Michael Cera because I don't know. He just has better on-screen presence than Finn to me. I don't know.
That's fair. I like them both. So.
No, I'm a bigger Stranger Things fan than you are for sure. I mean, he's fine in that kid role, but
that doesn't take much.
As in, like in Stranger Things season 3 and 4, like he's just the same person. Like
I've seen
all the other characters, have evolved, as they've gotten older, but like he hasn't changed, and he's still like to me. I just see him as Mike in everything, and it's like, dude, you're not. I just want to see him. I just want to see him take on a different kind of role.
It's fair, and I'm sure he will. He wrote this movie, right? So
he was co-writer, co-director.
So I think he's going to write this role with what he's familiar and what he's comfortable with. He was also in When You Finish Saving the World, A24 movie that I didn't particularly care for, and he's still that kind of kid, but he's got more angst to him. So I think the potential is out there. I think he will grow into it and evolve into a different kind of actor. I think though for this one, he just like, I'm writing this movie. I've been playing this kind of character for years, so let me write a role for me that's familiar that I could just step in because he's double duty. So he's like, don't let me challenge myself too much in this role because I'm also going to have to be co-directing. So let me just do something familiar. Maybe that.
I mean, that's fair. Like, don't get me wrong, that's fair. But how cool would it have been if he would have been like a Billy Loomis? Like he would have been the killer and like snapped at the end. He's the writer, director. I don't know, it'd have been better than freaking Mike to me. Pretty boy Mike.
I could see Mike doing it though, because the whole thing was Demi's idea. She could tell me to kill a camp full of counselors, and I'm like, okay. I get it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, She was the Lori Grimes of the group. I feel you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do not lump those two together. Good night.
I think me and Dustin both will tell you that we like the movie. He likes it a little more than me, but it was a good time. It's only an hour and 20-ish minutes, hour 28, something like that.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up actually, hour 28. And the run times include the end credits. I don't stay for the end credits. So really it's like
me neither.
Hour 23 minutes.
Yeah, easy runtime. Like you're not going to, and if you watch this and you say you're bored, like you just got to get off TikTok. Like your brain is rotted. If you can't watch an hour and 20-minute movie, you're cooked.
I'm glad you said that. Because I
Here
want
we
to talk
go.
about something real quick.
Here we go.
That's actually a great transition. I'm tired of people saying this is a bad year in at the movies. It's not. There's not been very many great movies, but I'm so sick to death of logging on to TikTok every time I open the app and just seeing people like 2025 sucks at the theater. Here's something to look forward to. Or 2025 sucks at the theater. Here's movies releasing next quarter that could save it. Doesn't need saving, bro. Like I said, I've seen 44 movies this year. I texted you my list of the top 5. I'm gonna run through them real quick. Number 5, Warfare, A24. That's the most realistic, what I imagine, realistic war scenes I've ever seen in a movie. The entire movie. I texted other friend Aaron Cabrera about that movie today, and I said I feel like I have PTSD from war just from watching that movie. So that's a great movie. Presence, we both really liked. Presence had an emotional connection. Like I thought that's the only horror movie that's in my top 5. My Dead Friend Zoe, we're both really high on. Emotional, but also really funny and really unique and original, based on a true story. Love that movie. And then the last two, The Ballad of Wallace Island and Bob Trevino Likes It. Both of those I gave a perfect 5 out of 5 rating. Don't say this is a bad. Like, stop letting the opinions of others influence you to the point to where you think, oh yeah, this is bad because so-and-so said it's bad. Or the internet's hating on movies right now, so everything must suck. Go in with an open mind. I think you'll be surprised. I didn't know anything about The Ballad of Wallace Island. And that's a 10 out of 10 for me, or a 5 out of 5, depending on your scale. So,
sounds like that's fine. Sounds like if you want to crack Dustin's top 5, that you got to pull some heartstrings this year,
bro.
Make you feel something.
The top 4 are definitely, actually, yeah, all 5 of those are like emotional stories for different reasons. But Bob Trevino Likes It. I'm man enough to say there wasn't a dry eye in that theater at one point in that movie, me included. That movie was beautifully sad. But yeah, make some movies that have some that pull on some heartstrings, and yeah, you'll probably get a decent score from me. But just there's good movies out there, man. Just go support cinema and find out.
Yeah. Now, horror wise, I do think it's not as good as 24 yet, and like nowhere near as good. That's just horror movies, though.
But that's a tough ask. 2024 was a really, really good year. So I've got my list pulled up right now. Horror movies I've seen: Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Really
I like
good.
That one. I like
what
that
it
one.
is and the budget it had. Really good.
I don't even think it's for what it. I don't even think it's for what it was. I just thought it was good.
Well, what I meant by that is it's low budget, and it's
yeah. But I just think it's good.
It's also continuing the Poonaverse. So if you're not into that, like if that's an automatic turnoff, I can understand you not like it. So,
but I mean, like you mentioned though, like go into it with an open mind. Like stop going in with premeditated hate. Like it's a good movie.
Yeah. Wolfman did not like. Presence, really good. Companion, really good. Hard Eyes, really good. The Monkey, I didn't like, but you really did. There you go. The Rule of Jenny Penn, decent. Okay. Opus, to me, decent to pretty good. And then Ash, different, good. The Woman in the Yard, good. Death of a Unicorn, I thought, good. Screamboat's the worst movie I've ever seen. Hell of a Summer and Drop, both pretty good movies. So just horror alone, those are the horror movies I've seen this year. Dude, it's so bad, man. It's so bad.
Like I knew you don't like that movie, but it still popped me. Like I just wasn't expecting it.
I'm not. I speak in hyperbole a lot. I know that I do to shock value, and it's funny. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. That is the worst movie I've ever seen. So
damn, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough. All right, back to Hell of a Summer. Final thoughts, Dustin. What you want to drop your Letterboxd rating?
Yeah, I gave it 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and I said to you earlier today that I could see this movie becoming a comfort movie for me. Like, I think that it's good enough to where I could put this on, never get tired of it. I don't have to lock. You don't have to lock in for it. You can
Yeah.
do something else while it's on. So it's not really a thinker, but the comedy's there and the creativity. I just enjoyed it. And let's see, what did I say the first time? Yeah, I said it's a fun movie. The comedy was perfect and not too over the top. There's some good kills with solid effects, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I stand by that.
Yeah, I gave it 3 out of 5. And like we mentioned last episode, or whatever we did, whenever we brought it up, 3 out of 5 is still good.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a bad rating. Like a 6 out of 10. Like, you gave it with 4 out of 5, so that's what, like probably that 7.5 to 8 range. You know, it's kind of weird comparing the 3s or like the 5s and the 10s because we do all the quarters and all that when we do our official rankings. But yeah, I mean, it's still a good movie, and I could definitely see it being one like as a background movie. You know, like you're maybe like editing a video or just scrolling the phone, catching up on the day or whatever, and you just have it in the background. You see that kill or you hear that joke and you look up and you laugh. You're like, oh, I love that part. Like as this fits that kind of role. Like I feel like this, and we'll definitely be reviewing this movie when it comes out for sure, just because it's fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's overdue, and it's it's Neon, which you and I both big fan of Neon and A24. As I tend to like independent movies more than definitely Universal. I think I crapped on them enough the last time we did one of these, but I support and I love independent films. Neon puts out some pretty bad ones, but also a lot of good ones. So I was excited to see it, and it didn't disappoint. That's about all you can ask for in a movie is to not be disappointed.
Yeah, I got to shout out IFC as well. I like a lot of their movies, like their horror movies for sure. Like low budget, like they got some good ones. Like one we need to do is When Evil Lurks. Like it's a Spanish horror movie. I think it's from Spanish horror movie, but man, it's dark. It's bleak as hell. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's a rough one.
I haven't. But speaking of IFC Shudder, I also told you, speaking of Ash that I brought up when I ran through the ones I've seen, I'm going to be picking Flying Lotus's other solo directorial movie, his debut. It's called Kuso, and it's on Shudder, and that's the most bizarre and disgusting and shocking movie I've ever seen. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's very weird, and Brian's he might quit the show, but I'm going to pick it because I can't believe what I saw, so I need other people to see that. So,
I mean, I know you don't want him to quit, but a part of me thinks like the stuff you pick, like you're trying to see what he's willing to put up with before he loses it on you.
No comment. Yes.
Yeah, shout out to The Rock. And one of the few good movies he's in.
Whoa. You might be right.
I like the 2 Jumanji movies he's in.
Those are good because I'm a big Jack Black fan. Like Kevin Hart's okay to me. The Rock's not a good actor.
Dude, I thought Kevin Hart was funny in those movies. Like when he does his Danny Glover impression, dude, I laughed so hard the first time I watched it. And Karen Gillan was great too. Like she's really good.
Karen Gillan. And The Rock is. I like The Rundown with Sean William Scott. I like that one. I wasn't a huge fan of The Walking Tall. Not a real big fan of Gridiron Gang. Yeah, The Rock kind of sucks, man. Dave Bautista is the best wrestler turned actor. And I'm tired of people acting otherwise.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those movies, to no one's surprise. I think I've seen like one of his Fast and Furious movies. Well, I don't know why we're talking about The Rock right now and Hell of a Summer action, but it's just sometimes you just. I mean, hell, y'all listening. Y'all just like listening to us banter. Hell of a Summer's fun. To me, though, it's not as good as Fear Street 78. Like that's probably my favorite summertime camps, like recent summertime camp slasher. I really like that movie. That one's good. That one felt like a true throwback. And I love Sadie Sink. I love me some Sadie Sink. The better of the Stranger Things actors and actresses. I think she's better than Finn Wolfhard personally. She's a damn good actress.
I don't know.
And her Stranger Things character has an arc, for Pete's sake. He has nothing. He's staying right here.
You can't blame him for that. He didn't write that show.
Hey, he can speak up. Millie opens her mouth every other day about the show. Respectfully.
I mean, I haven't seen past like episode 2 of season 2 of Stranger Things, so I can't comment on her in that show. But I think of what I've seen her in movies. I like Finn. I think Finn's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Finn is fine, but like Sadie, like she's got some spunk to her. She's got some range. But anyway, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Are you got something else to say?
Well, I was just gonna touch on something you said. I liked Fear Street 78. I personally like this one a bit more. So support cinema. Watch them both. Let us know whose side you're on.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they're both fun. Like I'm not gonna hate on either of them. But hey, appreciate y'all tuning in. We hit that 30-minute mark. Believe, send that check. Appreciate y'all tuning in.